We've got a little breeze blowing, but nothing like it was during the storm a few days ago. I've just come out in the garden. Let's just get this rainbow. I'm just in the back garden, just doing a little bit of kit maintenance. Specifically just making sure the spine of the knife is at 90 degrees. I've not been out really, not to do any bushcraft or anything since I got back from Bisley, and I've not had a chance to play with something I brought back, which is Fatwood, which I've never had before. I've never looked for it before, but I found some while we were down at Bisley, and most of you will know what it is. It's from an evergreen tree, fir or pine, and where the branches are dead at the base of the tree and they go into the trunk, some of those dead branches will accumulate a lot of resin in them, and that resin burns very, very readily. And you can tell when you've got it. Well, you can tell two ways. First of all, you can see it. It's a golden brown, but also as well you can smell it. It smells like turpentine. I think it's where turpentine comes from. So I'm just going to have a go at igniting this. I'll just split it down just a little bit more. And then I should be able to take scrapings off with the back of the knife to make a grated fatwood. Right, now this stuff's supposed to ignite very, very easily, so I don't like using my ferrocerium rod because there's not much of it left. I just put a bit more fat down, I think. Right, it's something I've seen many people do, but I've never been able to do it myself, so we'll see how it works. There we go, and it's burning with that typical black smoke. Look at that go. So that's my first Fatwood. Good, excellent fire starter, and that's just total Fatwood. So that's as good as a little bottle of paraffin, which I usually use to start fires with. It's gone, the flame's gone out now. So it smells really good. You can see the oil's bubbling out of it when it's alight. I don't want to use it all up just needlessly, but this is the first time I've played with it, so it's just like having a candle wick. And presumably, because it's so resinous, it's not going to absorb a lot of water, so possibly it'd be good when it's in wet conditions as well. A bit like birch bark, I suppose. It's got the same black smoke as birch bark as well. It's giving off quite a black smoke. See that smoke? You can see the bubbling of the resins. So what I'm going to do, generally you see me cooking on this, and I've got a new way for mounting this as well. If you've got a couple of tent pegs, 3 tent pegs will do it. One in here, one there. Two. There we go, that's rock steady now. So with a bit of birch bark, fatwood, I'll just go and get some more bits of stick. So the fatwood has now got that going tremendously. As good as a good few squirts of paraffin would have got it going. Now what I haven't got is anything to lift that off there. I'll just see if I can find some bits of metal just to lift that pot up. This tin I'm using here, this stove, this hobo type stove, it's a utensil carrier from, you get them from a lot of the supermarket type shops. I think this one came from Tesco's. It was stainless steel when I first used it, but I've used it many times, so it doesn't look stainless anymore. And it is my primary stove when I'm just out in the woods, because it doesn't cost anything to fuel. It's not going to sit on there, is it? No. Back to the drawing board. There we go. So this is the one I'll take if I'm pottering about, because if I know I'm going to be in the woods and it's fairly dry, then I know I've got fuel for it, and it burns very freely. The only thing it could sometimes do with is some sort of heat shield, because we all know that the two quickest ways to make your pot boil quickly is to first of all put a lid on it, and secondly protect it from excess wind. And that should boil in a very short time, and you can pick up sticks like this in a very short space of time. So this is me mostly used pot if I'm just pottering about on my own. But in my pack I generally carry the Crusader burner, and that I will very often put in either have I got them? Let's see, I haven't got them. So I'll generally put in either a hexamine block from these army stoves, so that is a stove in itself, but as you can see I haven't used that, otherwise it'd be all dark and rusty. But I generally put in the hexamine blocks, solid fuel block in there, flip that over, put the mug on, and again put the lid on to make it boil quicker. And you've all seen that, the heavy lid. I don't always use the heavy lid. I sometimes simply use a piece of aluminium foil. That on there like that. Does the job. It weighs about a tenth. Well, not a tenth. Well, maybe it's a tenth. And you can get a piece of pie dish from anywhere. So I often run the hexi blocks in there, but I also have these which are trioxane, which is a similar sort of solid fuel, but I think this is used by the Americans, whereas this is or was used by the UK forces. But we've gone over now to an alcohol gel, which isn't this, but it's similar to this. It's just an alcohol gel. You can smell the alcohol in it. Put that in there. And put the lid on this, because I'll show you in a minute. The trouble with this stuff is you can't see when it's on fire. So is that on fire or is it not on fire? Well, I can see the heat haze, so I know it is on fire. But you can't see it's on fire, can you? You cannot see that's on fire. I can just see the heat haze. You can see it bubbling now. It bubbling. Watch. Watch this. There you go, well you can see it's burning, can't you? It's probably holding that down too far into the flame. You can just see a bit of yellow around the edges now. So that's alight now, but you can't see it. That's out. That's on. So I generally take this when I've got my pack with me, or if I'm just wandering out, I might just take the wood stove with me. Little wood stove. It does use quite a lot of wood, so you do have to keep resupplying it. Oops. That's full, and it's quite hot now. So these are the two cheapy stoves that I use, and I do have, but I very rarely use it. I do have a gas stove, and that just clips on there. Screws down. And the good thing about a gas stove, of course, is well, they're convenient. You get a good bit of fuel in a tank, and oh, it was a light. And they're easy to light, and they'll stand a bit of wind. So I'll put that off. So that's basically my 3 stove options, and then of course when we go out camping with transport, we take the fire pit with us, and that's seen a lot of service. That needs a bit of a paint up. This is boiling now, or just about. Not quite on a rolling boil yet. That's still burning. It's almost boiling. Boil quicker if I put the lid on. So, the first time I've used that. First time. Won't be the last. Be good for clearing your nose out, that, if you had a bit of a cold, I think. Yes. Wow, it's a bit hot, that. I do sometimes as well, just to eke out a hexi burner. I do sometimes put some wood in the bottom of this, and that works out all right as well. Oh, this is on the boil now. So tea. But I mean, the advantage of this is it's robust. If you're going to be, I mean, even if it's pouring down and you get a piece of wood and everything's soaking wet, you can always split some wood and get some dry wood from somewhere. But if you have a couple of bits of this with you for getting stuff started. Now, there is one other type of stove you've seen me use, and that's me wax filled with a wick material. In this case it's cotton string filled with wax. You'll have seen me use a smaller version, in fact that small version filled, but that one's been used obviously, and I sometimes put that in the bottom of my that fits just in the bottom of the Crusader. But this is a bigger version, and we'll just like this bigger version in fact. So I'm going to start it with some Fatwood. So we'll just see how that goes, because I've got an idea that with the empty tins I use, I'm thinking if I put holes around the sides and don't fill them up quite so well, it might burn a lot better. Anyway, water's boiling, so we won't waste it. So you don't really need much money to get a little stove sorted out, so you can brew up and cook on it. I mean, if I'm out on my own, I just use the Crusader cook pot and then carry this for my drinking cup, and then I can eat out of here. You've seen that before. But that was my first look at Fatwood, which I did know how it should go because I've seen plenty of other people use it, but I'd never actually used it myself, and that's just total resin. Brittle, breaks just like toffee. It smells like turpentine. And when I make the next one of these stoves here, I'm going to put the volume of fuel a lot less and put holes around the top and see if that improves its burning. But I mean, they do burn very well. And one of these will do a few meals. And also as well, I could put one of these in here simply by pushing tent pegs through. And then taking that and resting it on those tent pegs inside. But for no, I mean, even this is not giving off any real amount of smoke. This with the gel, and you can. I get the gel in big tins from the warehouse. Sells all food for the little shops, and it's warming gel, and it can be used indoors as well. And in fact, it's designed to be used from the tin. Just take the top off. I don't want to open the top of this. This one's not open. This one's almost empty now. But let's light this up. It's going to get rather hot rather quickly. Right, so all right. Yes, it is a light. So this is a light, you just can't see it, but you can feel it. And this is for putting under food, for keeping it warm. But they do as good cookers, and there's not much in there. And that is a light. It's burning. It's getting warm. I'll prove it's burning. Prove it's burning. Well, it was burning, that bit of wind blew it out, because there's not much left in the bottom. And that's how that cooked, that's how I get that anyway. But the military are using it in little sachets, and I think it doubles up as a hand cleanser as well. So there we have it. That's my general outdoor. These are very handy things to have, but they do wear down. So I don't like using it too much, which is why you'll often see me using either matches or a lighter. I put that on just to can't come out. And this knife was made by the lad you saw blacksmithing on this do-it-yourself forge down at Bisley, and I've had this for quite a lot of years. He made the sheath as well, and he put that on the ferrocerium rod, so he's quite a talented bloke. Just as I finish, the sun comes out.